Thinking ahead of Tucker. Goes back to pass. Throws long. Down to the left side to Zeno. Coleman. Zeno has it down the far side. He goes to the 2-yard line. And he's pulled down to 2. Great catch by Coleman Zeno.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you give this video a thumbs up or maybe leave a comment below or possibly share this video, it would mean so much to me. But just, anyway, at least thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. We got this article I saw. Had some interesting stats, regarding the Giants with the game with the Raiders and all that and everything. So I'll leave a link in the description box. You can check it out if you want. But I'm just going to kind of go over the stats, what they have in the article here. It's pretty interesting. And then, of course, I'll start off with the Sam Beal experiment. Sam Beal's time with the New York Football Giants is no mas. The New York Giants, they waived the 25-year-old. Bye-bye. Of course, he's the 2018. We got him in the supplemental draft, out of Western Michigan. We had to dish out a third-round pick for him. So that was the pick that I believe was in 2019. All right, so we dished that out to get him in 2018. Now, a lot of times what I heard was, he was, highly, regarded. And if he did come out in 2019, what I was hearing is he quite possibly might have been a first rounder. So when you kind of hearing that, it's like, whoa, okay, all right, not bad, good job, Dave. Not bad. Hey, give up a third, maybe possibly get a first round talent cornerback. Now we're talking, brother. All right. Way to go, Dave. I think Dave, out of every 10 swings at the ball, Dave swings and misses 7 or 8 times. Out of every 10, he connects once or twice, good solid singles or doubles or whatever. But he tries, a lot of times he tries and he swings and misses, okay? And this certainly would be a swing and a miss, okay, without question. He's one time he was, I was reading this. I remember when he came out, too. He was regarded as possibly the best supplemental draft pick since wide receiver Josh Gordon. So, Josh Gordon, it was supplemental, came out. Josh Gordon, it was like, wow, this guy's good. Of course, then, 452 or 453, suspensions later, it just goes to show you the power of drugs. The guy's got, NFL, he's got money, this, he can have the world by the tail and all that stuff and everything, and still he just can't get his life straightened out. But apparently, I'm saying, so there was high praise for this pick when, they gave out a third-round selection for Sam Beal, but as we kind of know, it didn't work out. 2018, he injured his shoulder after, I think it was like 2 practices at training camp. And, of course, he missed the entire 2018 season. If I remember, I think it had been hurt like in college. And maybe he never got it taken care of or something. And I believe he landed on it again. I think he went up to defend a pass or something. He came down, landed on it, and that was pretty much it. I'm not sure exactly all the ins and outs of what was wrong with it, but I believe he had heard it in college. And he just wound up aggravating it again in training camp, and so he missed the whole first season, 2018. 2019, he injured his hamstring, okay, and he missed the first 9 games. He did play in the Giants' final 6 games, though, okay, of that year. Nothing super spectacular. no interceptions. I think he had like 26 tackles, I think it was. He graded out with PFF at like a 54. So nothing horrible, but nothing super spectacular. Once again, just another very disappointing season. I mean, so that would have been, 2018, 2019. That would have been 32 games. He played in 6 out of 32 games. And it was just kind of, it was just like after 2018, and then he injured his hamstring. And it was like, is this guy ever going to play? It was just, it's just amazing. How do these guys make it through like high school and college? Absolutely amazing. All right, then in 2020, okay, he opted out due to COVID. Now I can't blame the guy. You make a decision, and it's whatever's best for you and your family. My mother passed away from COVID, so I'm not. If anybody wants to, if they took the year off of COVID, I ain't knocking them. It can be a nasty, especially what it did with my mother. So it can be very, very nasty. So he opted out for the 2020 season. So there's another 16 games he missed. He also was arrested for 2 gun-related charges as well. I don't know what the hell it is with these guys and guns. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Why do you need a gun? I mean, what is wrong with you? Anyway, so he missed out of the first 3 seasons, for one reason or the other. First 3 seasons was 48 games. Okay, he missed 42 out of 48 games in the first 3 seasons. Okay, so then we fast forward to this year. This year he played in a grand total of 10 snaps. He had 8 special team snaps. He had 2 snaps on defense all season. Most of the season he was like healthy scratch. He's pretty much was healthy, but I mean, if you would see like the healthy scratches or whatever, that would be him. He played in 3 games. So I guess it just whatever. I mean, it's not like it's not like we couldn't use somebody in the secondary. I mean, Kadarius Williams got hurt, and and Josh Jackson, and we traded Isaac Yiadom away, and we traded Isaac Yiadom away for Josh Jackson, and we let Josh Jackson go. I mean, so it's not like we couldn't use some people, somebody in the secondary. But I mean, I don't know. I guess he just fell out of favor. He's a Gettleman guy, but he's not a Joe Judge guy. He's not a Patrick Graham guy. So, things you're just never gonna know. You're probably never gonna find out the total truth. But they let him go. So, it's just another wasted high draft pick on a cornerback. We've had more luck in the past, few years with like 4th round cornerbacks, like Darnay Holmes. Julian Love. When we drafted him, a lot of people had him penciled in as like a 2nd round pick. So I mean, Julian Love certainly had some good moments this year. He had 1 or 2 games he was, not too good. Darnay Holmes, he's okay. He's depth. Okay. I thought he did decently his rookie season last year. We were kind of hoping under Patrick Graham once again he would maybe take another step up a little bit. He did have the 1 interception against the Chiefs. Of course, he got erased by Oshane Ximines, the X-Man. Thanks, way to go, buddy. So he's, but Darnay Holmes quality depth, okay. But I mean, we can go to like some of the earlier round picks. All right, if you go to 2016 with Eli Apple, 1st rounder. Then we got DeAndre Baker, okay, right? We should have, had, we should have Eli Apple and DeAndre Baker should be just, so it should be our cornerbacks. Then of course we're gonna have Sam Beal, could have been possibly a 1st round selection but I mean, so between Sam Beal possibly could have been a 1st rounder, DeAndre Baker, Eli Apple. I mean, we spent some high draft picks on some cornerbacks, and they were absolutely horrible. Absolute. Eli Apple can't. Oh my God. Horrible. DeAndre Baker falling asleep. I mean, in the meetings and all of that and everything. Just, wow. Just bad. Really bad. And then Sam Beal. I mean, it is what it is. But Sam Beal is no mas. All right, so now let's go to this article here. As I said, I'll leave a link in the description box. You can check it out. But it's got some interesting things here. It says the Giants versus Raiders. Statistics, numbers, and broken records. All right, so they got here. All right. With their win over the Raiders, the Giants have won back-to-back home games for the first time since November 8th and December 2nd, 2018. It's been 3 years since they won back-to-back home games. Can you comprehend that? 3 years since they won back-to-back home games. Oh my God, that's so pathetic. The Giants won after trailing at halftime for the first time since last year. Remember when they went out to Seattle? They were losing at halftime and they came back and beat the Seahawks. So that was the first time they were trailing at halftime. They came back and won in almost a year. The Giants' 96 net yards passing was their lowest total in a victory since December 23rd, 2007 at Buffalo. That game clinched playoff berth for the Giants. It was in 2007. What helped seal the deal was Ahmad Bradshaw. I think it was like an 80-yard run he had. Man, every time I think about it, I just get goosebumps. I remember he was in the huddle and he said something like, just get me a hole, or something like that. And Sean O'Hara, the center, was like, I don't know if he said it to him or if he was thinking about it. He said, "Shut up, rookie." They gave him a hole. And it was in Buffalo. Obviously, it was right before Christmas. It was snow flurries. It was kind of a little dark and all that, but the snow flurries were coming down, and he took it to the house, and I just get goosebumps every time I see the highlights of it, or every time I think about it, because that put us in the playoffs. That put us far enough ahead in that game where Buffalo couldn't come back. You know what I mean? So that was pretty impressive. So that's right. We didn't pass the ball much that game. We didn't have a lot of passing yards, but we had some running yards, and that was a big win for us. The Giants' 149 yards rushing was their second highest total of this season. Giants' 31 rushing attempts tied their season high for 31, so that's good. It's just nice to know that they can run the ball that many times if need be, because they only passed the ball 20 times. The Giants converted on 50% of their third down attempts, 6 out of 12, which represented a season best. All right, 6 out of 12, 50%. Very good. Giants have not. Now, if you think about this, I didn't. This didn't dawn on me. The Giants have not allowed a second half touchdown in the last 3 games. I mean, obviously against Carolina, they only gave up 3 points. They didn't even allow a touchdown. But I mean, if you think about it, against the Chiefs and against the Raiders, I mean, the Raiders only had 13 points at halftime, right? They had the opening drive touchdown and they didn't score a touchdown the rest of the game. But you figure they held the Chiefs without a touchdown in the second half in Kansas City. I mean, all right. I read that stat. I'm like, wow, pretty cool. They got their work cut out for them if they're going to. Unfortunately, I think that streak's going to come to an end against Tampa Bay when they face the Brady Bunch. But here's hoping. Let's see. Sunday represented the Giants' first game in which both teams scored a touchdown on their opening possession since December 22nd, 2019, when they were played at Washington. The Giants walked right down the field. They scored their only offensive touchdown. The Raiders got the ball. They walked down the field. They scored their only offensive touchdown. The rest of the game, no offensive touchdowns. Weird. The Giants have allowed 7 different opponents to score on them with under 1 minute 33 seconds remaining in the first half. 6 of those scores came with under 36 seconds remaining. Now the first 6 games, okay, they gave up touchdowns in the last 2 minutes. This time they gave up a field goal. So they actually, They won 2 games in a row without giving up a score, right, against Carolina, against the Chiefs in the final 2 minutes of the first half. But other than that, I mean, against the Raiders, they gave up a field goal, and that put the Raiders up 13-10. But the first 6 weeks of the season, the final 2 minutes, and what they were saying is a lot of these were on the final 36 seconds. The other team scored a touchdown in the final 2 minutes of the first half. I mean, it's just so demoralizing. So demoralizing. Daniel Jones, 110 yards passing, obviously was the lowest total of his career. But we won, so I'm sure he'll take that. Jones tied a career high by completing 75% of his passes. He was 15 out of 20. Okay. I got. There's 2 other stats I'm going to throw in here after this, after I'm done reading them. One of them's about Daniel Jones. Jones completed all 9 of his first half pass attempts, becoming the first Giants quarterback to complete 100% of his first half passes, minimum of 5 passes. Okay, since Phil Simms did it on October 10th, 1993. It's been a while. Okay, it's been a while. The 9 straight completions also tied a career high for Jones. All right. Let's see. Devontae Booker rushed for a career high, 99 yards. He actually had 102, and on his last rush, he lost 3 yards. What a shame. But, he got the victory. He got 99 yards. He had 23 yards receiving, another 122 yards. So he had back-to-back 100-plus yards, between rushing and receiving against the Chiefs and the Raiders. So, Devontae, thank you, brother. Great job, man. Great job. North and south, give me the ball, give me a hole. I'm finding a hole. I'm going north and south. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. I'll tell you what, we got him on the cheap for the most part, and I'll tell you what, the man came in handy. Big time. Let's see here. Kadarius Toney became the first Giant wide receiver to be sacked. Since October 9, 2016, Odell Beckham Jr. had a pass attempt and he got sacked. Yeah, that stuff don't happen very often. Xavier McKinney scored his first career touchdown and the Giants' first defensive touchdown of the season. McKinney now has two interception games this season, the first Giant to accomplish that feat since Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie in 2016. Yeah, DRC, he had a 2016, boy, he was special. He was very, very special. I remember he picked the pass off the last game of the season against the Redskins at the time. That helped. I think the Redskins were moving to go down. I think it was real late in the game. I think might have been a final minute or 2, and they were driving, I think, for the go-ahead score to beat us. And because we didn't need the game, because we were in the playoffs. They needed the game, I think, if I remember correctly. The Washington Redskins needed to win that game. They're at home. They needed to win that game to get into the playoffs, and we beat them. We didn't need that game. But I remember Rodgers-Cromartie, he picked the pass off at the end of the game. It helped seal the deal, helped knock the Redskins out of the playoffs. I think if I remember correctly. Quincy Roche recorded his first sack and first forced fumble of his career. Quincy, thank you, man. Thank you. Giants have at least 1 takeaway. Now, I read this. I'm like, really? Yeah. Okay, cool. Giants have at least 1 takeaway in all 9 games this season. Phenomenal. I mean, they don't have 20 takeaways or nothing, but I mean, one is better than none. I mean, that's what you want your defense to do, okay? Get some takeaways for you, all right? And every game, all 9 games, they've had a takeaway. Now, they got once again, they're going to have the work cut out for them to do some taking away against the Brady bunch, but first 9 games, at least 1 takeaway in every game. Farrell Cooper made his Giants debut, and I'll tell you what, very positive. His punt returns, very good. And I love Farrell, cool name, I love the name. J.R. Reed made his Giants debut too. And Ellerson Smith, yeah. He made his NFL debut. He had 2 snaps, but they were just on special teams. So I don't know. They had Roche in there. Carter wasn't in there. I mean, I know we brought Trent Harris in. We had Azeez Ojulari. I don't know why. I don't know. Elliston, they didn't try him a couple of snaps. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, against the Brady bunch, Tampa Bay. Yeah, maybe they'll have him in there for a couple of snaps on defense. Who knows? But he was in there for special teams, so at least he got on the field. Okay, let's also not forget about the Aaron Robinson too. Right, it's our second round, our third round, and our fourth round picks. All right, second, third, and fourth round picks. Defense, they're on the field, so that's good. Okay, that's good. And then, so that's the end of those stats. And then there was two other stats I saw, which this for the Giants. This is pretty rare. This is I've seen this, and I'm just going back. I'm thinking, going back, and for the Giants, this is rare. The Giants have 2 of the top 6 interceptors in the whole league. Okay, we got Xavier McKinney is tied for 4th with 4. Okay, he's tied with Logan Wilson of Cincinnati. They both have 4. All right, and then there's 11 guys who have 3 interceptions. Okay, James Bradbury's one of them, though. So from 1 to 6, all right, the Giants have 2 guys in there between Xavier McKinney and James Bradbury. One's got 4, one's got 3. So that's kind of rare for Giants. I mean, sometimes you have a Giant guy maybe get a bunch of interceptions or whatever, so you might have 1 up there or something. But we got 2 in the top. That's pretty impressive for the Giants. I don't remember that happening very often for the Giants. I mean, it's only halfway through the season. They may not get another interception. Who knows? But I mean, as of right now, halfway through the season, we got 2 guys in the top 6 as far as interceptions. Very, very good. And then finally, the last stat I saw somebody showed was Daniel Jones completed 68% of his passes once again. At least 68% of his passes. So this week, okay, he completed 75%. So he has thrown the ball at least 20 times a game. All right, and completed at least 68% of his passes. All right, 6 times this year. All right, and that's tied for the most in the NFL. So I was a little surprised about that. I was kind of. I mean, some of these guys they're completing 70s. Sometimes you see a guy completing 70, 75, 80% of his passes during a game. Well, Daniel Jones has completed at least 68% of his passes. All right, in 6 ball games this year. And throwing the ball at least 20 times. So that's you have to throw the ball at least 20 times, and he did. He threw 20 times. He threw the ball on this last Sunday. So he's done that 6 times, 6 out of 9 times, and that's tied for the lead in the NFL. So that's you can knock him for a bunch of things and all that and everything, but with a weak offensive line, we got some turnstiles at the tackle position. For him to complete, throw 20 passes, all right, and complete at least 68% of them for 6 out of his 9 games, and it'd be tied in the NFL for the lead. That's pretty impressive. Well, I just want to share these stats with you. I just thought some of them were pretty interesting. I started reading some of them. I'm like, wow, I don't know where some of these guys get these stats at, but they're pretty interesting. I said I'll leave a description and a link in the description box. You can check the story out if you want. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!